So my client just cussed me out. I want to know, how would you guys handle the situation? Let me know. What's going on, guys? It's Mark from thst Mobile Detailing, and today we're going to talk about how a customer cussed me out. Let me know what you guys think. Let's get to the video.
All right, Mark. So first question is, repeat client or first time client?
So she's a repetitive client. We do her every week. So we do a maintenance wash on her car, and then sometimes we do her caretaker's cars. She is an older lady, about like 78 years old. So yeah.
When you detail her car, are you dealing with her personally or the caregiver?
So usually we deal with the daughter or the caregiver majority of the time, because she is older, so sometimes she can't make it outside. So that's how we accommodate her.
How long have you had her as a client?
So I had the client for about 4 years already. So she's been with me for a long time.
So a loyal one.
Yeah, we do it every week. Sometimes if it's even raining, she'll be like, hey, can you please still come? I'm like, oh man, so it's a good thing to keep these clients, but then at the same time, you have to kind of separate the business and like the friendship, because they do become like friendly, and you create a friendship, but then sometimes in the situations, just like we're talking about right now, sometimes people get too comfortable and they treat you a certain way, so yeah.
I got it, man. All right, Mark, so you were telling me you did the detail, it went great, but they asked for something different, right?
Yeah, so like we detailed their car and we tinted it, and they're not going to be in town, so they're like, hey, leave the key on the wheel. So they was like, all right, cool. So we left it on the wheel and left. So when we took off, like we made sure the key was there, and then the next day, or actually the next couple of days later, she was like, oh, I can't find my key, where's my key at? And I was like, yeah, I knew I shouldn't have done this. Like, when you do something like this, it's always a risk. So
wait, where'd you put the key at?
So I put the key on the wheel, and so she was like, I can't find the key, I've been looking for it and I can't find it. And I don't know, that day, like maybe she wasn't really looking, and so at the time I was in Chino, and then after I had a job, I was like, you know what, let me finish this job and I'll come and get the key for you. So I went all the way from Chino all the way to Eastville, so it's probably like around 30-minute drive, like 35 minutes, and then she was like, oh, the key was right there. So I was like, ah, man. So I was like, whatever, it's cool.
Wait. She was in the tire where? Like right here. Where'd you put the key?
So like pretend this is the front of the car.
Yeah.
I just left the key like right here on the edge, so no one could steal the key.
And it was there for days?
No, it was probably there for like 2 days or something like that. So 2 or 3 days. It is a private ranch, so it is gated. So still the chances are someone hopping over, you never know. So, but it is a gated little ranch, and so it is a little safer. But say if I were doing a car right now and they told me to leave the keys right here, I wouldn't do it, just because someone would be walking in the public spot and they could come up on the key, and then it's gonna be your fault.
So who couldn't find it, the caregiver or the older lady?
Yeah, so the caregiver couldn't find their key, so I went all the way in and I found it for her. And then so now we're talking about the main situation, which is the
wait, I had a question for you. Did she feel dumb? Like, oh, it was right here?
Yeah, she's like, oh man, I didn't see, I've been looking all over, I was on my knees, I couldn't find it and stuff. But I mean, I feel like I was just talking to my other detailing buddy, and they're like, hey, like in that situation, you should have took a picture of it and then sent it to her. And then I was like, I didn't really think about that, And he was like, yeah, bro, next time probably take a picture and send it to her, just so she knows that it's right there. And I was like, ah, that's a good one. Cause like, when you're like moving and on the go, you just do what they tell you, and then just put the key there and then just leave, because you feel like, hey, they know where the key's at, I know where the key's at, let's just go. But then sometimes people are just in a rush and they can't find the key. So I was like, oh man. So yeah, that created a little situation with us. All right guys, so have this ever happened to you where a client wants to leave their key in a weird situation like this? Drop it down in the comment below. And also, where'd you guys leave it at? Like, did you leave it in the mailbox, in the dog house? Yeah, let us know how it went.
All right, Mark, so that was the first situation. The second situation happened, which was the bad one. But do you think that first situation led to the second situation?
All right, so she had a nice car, and then so we're doing a maintenance wash on it inside and out. And then when we're done, she was like, hey, I'm not gonna be home. Park the car in the garage and leave the key there. So I was like, all right. So I parked the car in the garage, left the key there. So say this is the car, and there is a countertop right here. I just left the key right there. And so I left, closed the garage. And then after that, a couple hours later, like let's say if I was done with her car around like 5 o'clock, she called me about like 7:30, said, hey Mark, where's my damn keys at? Where's my effing keys at? And I was like, hello? Because I was eating dinner and stuff, and I was kind of thrown off about the situation. And I was like, hello, like, hold on, like, it's like, where are my damn effing keys at? This happened already once with you. with such and such, and now this, I can't find my keys. I don't know what's up with you and the damn keys, Mark. You need to figure it out. Like, I've been out 30 minutes. It's been it's been really hot outside, and she's trying to make a bunch of excuses for talking to me like this. And I was like, oh man, like I was like, well, hold on. Did you check right there on the side of the counter, like literally right next to the car? It's on the counter. And she was like, I guess like the guy was with her, like someone helping her out. She was like, oh, it's right here. And then after that, she was like, oh, they're right here. No, she was like, oh, they're right here. And then she's like, oh, bye. And she hung up the phone. I was like, oh man, like I was like, what the hell? So I was like, all right, well, I felt like kind of disrespected. I was like, man, you know what? I don't know if I want to do business with the lady anymore. Like, you know, she could have been like, hey, Mark, I can't find the keys. Where are they? Do you know where they misplaced them and stuff? But then going back to the picture as well, I could have left the picture there as well. So, I mean, it's like a 50-50 in that. But yeah, drop it down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, man, so that's what happened. So I contacted her caretaker and saying like, hey, I don't know if we're the right fit for you, just because the way you guys were talking to us. You know, I've been dealing with you for 4 years. You know, like I just been doing a lot of things, and sometimes I feel like I've known her for a little bit, so she'll ask me to do personal things or certain things, and I help her out just because she's an older lady. So I just felt like a spit to the face, basically. And I was like, I told her basically what I felt, not her, but the caretaker, because that's usually what I deal with. I'm not going to call the lady and make the situation more worse. We're just going to be arguing over the phone. So I just feel like it wasn't professional. So I just talked to her. She's like, hey, just give it a couple days. And after that, I'll talk to her. So a couple days passed, and it was time for her appointment. I haven't heard anything from her. And I was like, oh man, so, you know, I was like, let me call the caretaker again.
Let me ask you, for the appointments, do you just show up now because it's been 4 years, or do you get that confirmation?
I still confirm with her every week and stuff like that. So it got confirmed, but usually the caretaker confirms it. But see, this is a weird situation where, you know, the lady was like cussing at me and stuff, and then I'm just like, what the hell's going on? So with that being said, like, I like basically contact her, and she's like, you know what, like a couple days, let it just chill. I'll contact you. So then we get to the day of, and then so I texted her like, hey, what do you guys want to do? Do you want me to still come? She's like, oh yeah, still come. And then she's like, oh, just please contact my mom. So I was like, oh, so we're gonna have this conversation. So I had the conversation with her. I was like, hey, how's it going? You know, I just feel like I was like, before we start like anything, I just wanted to say like we had a weird conversation or weird altercation previously. I want to just address it right out the way, so we could get like to the appointment or whatever we got to do. And so she was like, oh, okay, so what was going on? And I was like, you know, I just feel like it wasn't like cool for you to talk to me in that certain way, just because, you know, it might have been a mistake on my half, but also you got to keep in mind, like, we are human, and you shouldn't be talking to people like that. Just because you throw money in people's face, it doesn't mean that's all right. So for me, like as a business owner, you know, we work hard for the business, and we work hard to give people customer service. But sometimes people just don't care. You know, they think of you as an object or an item where you just could be easily replaced. But at the same time, we're trying to give our heart out for the service and stuff, because we care for these people in the cars. But yeah, man, so we had a conversation. It's like, you know what, it was really hot that day. You know, I was been outside for 30 minutes trying to find my car keys, and I just feel like you should have did this and this and this. And started making a bunch of excuses. So I just was more direct with her. I was like, so what do you want to do? Do you want to move forward with the situation, or do you want to just cut ties and go from there? Like, you know, for me, I believe like in probably like second chances. So I was like, you know, do you want to just do this? And she is a longtime client too. So we get her car every week. So, you know, it was a weird situation. She's like, you know, I apologize. Like, I shouldn't have talked to you that way. And then she kept going like, oh, like, but da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, all right. So like, you know, it is an older lady. She is set in her older ways. So you can't really do as much. So, you know, I took it as that, like with the grain of salt. All right, cool. You know what? We'll still work with each other. But now I set that boundary for her. Like, hey, if you talk to me again like this, I'm done. I don't care how much you pay me. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. Would you guys keep her as a client, or would you guys just let her go? I talked to a couple detailers, and some, you know, I always have like counsel with detailers, etc. And, you know, I was like, hey, what do you think I should do? Like 4 out of the 5 detailers, like, yeah, just keep her, man. Every week, you know, she pays you, and etc., etc., etc. And then one guy's like, oh, hell no, I wouldn't deal with that. You know, I'll just cancel her right away. And then I was packing up my stuff and dip, you know, but like, you know, so like, I don't know. So moving forward, we still did her car, and then after that it was no issues and stuff like that. So that's a situation that happened. In this video, I wanted to vent to you guys and let you guys know how would you guys deal with it. I was struggling how to deal with it. So yeah, man. All right, guys, have you guys ever been disrespected by a client? Let me know how you guys handled that situation. Drop it down in the comments below. We always could share these stories to learn from each other. So yeah,